So one of the biggest conversations that I still get involved in is what VR headset to buy in 2024. There is a lot of rumblings about Valve Decade. Thanks to Sadly It's Bradley, we recently got a look at what the controllers will look like for this headset, and I'm really hoping it's a standalone device and also a PCVR device. I think that'd be absolutely fantastic. But before Christmas, what is the best VR headset for you to buy? Now, this is very subjective. Personally, my favorites are PlayStation VR 2 and Meta Quest 3. I know Meta Quest 3S is a very good and affordable option, and if you didn't see my review of Meta Quest 3S, I came away with a bit of a problem. The problem was I couldn't recommend it over Quest 3. The reason for that is I won't use it. That's the biggest problem. That headset is now sat on that stand, and as cool as it is, the mixed reality is great. It's got Fresnel lenses. Meta did a really crazy spin on making the Meta Quest 3 more affordable by making it £500 or $500, and they put in 512 gigs of storage. So it made it quite difficult, and I kind of felt with the pancake lenses, it was just an all-round better headset. It's got a better form factor, it's got a better resolution, and that made it really hard. So personally, I think the best all-round headset to buy right now is the Meta Quest 3. You can also use it as a PCVR headset, either wirelessly or wired. It's got a brilliant mixed reality. The pass-through is decent. And obviously you've got all the standalone titles from the back catalogue of the Quest. Now, the main reason I love PlayStation VR 2, because it's got PlayStation VR games. One of the biggest downfalls of being a PlayStation VR fan is you've lost all access to the original library of PSVR, and arguably that was one of the best VR game libraries we've ever had. And PlayStation VR 2 does have its own fantastic games, just like Quest. So for me personally, I like to be in both camps. I don't want to miss out on any titles, but if you was ever going to come up to me in the street and ask me which headset to get, I would just recommend the Meta Quest 3. It just does so much, and it has massive storage. The controllers live forever, but it also really comes down to the games library. There's no point buying a VR headset if you just don't have anything to play on it. I do feel, even though PlayStation VR 2 has some top tier titles like Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Gran Turismo, Horizon, I would argue Red Matter 2 on PlayStation VR 2 is the best version of the game. And there is others. I just think that if you're looking for a lot of quantity with some quality, I think Meta Quest 3 again has the edge. And I think one of the main reasons is mixed reality as well. There's just a whole new library of games, and it's a great way to get people into VR without scaring them. VR can be very claustrophobic for newcomers. I've noticed if you put them in a headset, they instantly, and as much as this is cool because it's really immersive for us who know VR, you're cut off from the world. But if you put someone in a Quest, they can see their environment, they can see the people who basically help them get into the headset and see what they're playing, and it's a nice introduction. So again, that does lean back into Quest being one of the first headsets that I would recommend anyone get. Now, if you've got a PlayStation, however, it does tip the scales a little bit, because if it comes to affordability, the PlayStation VR 2 is similarly priced to the Meta Quest 3, and you can also use that as a PCVR headset, but you do need an adapter. And to be honest, even though I like to use it on PCVR, it is more of a setup process. It's like a two-step process to get into PC with Quest. As with PSVR 2, you need to start some software, you need to hook up your Bluetooth controllers, and the results in PCVR are pretty similar, to be honest, to Quest. So that's why it's very important to look into the games that you're after. What are the types of games and what are your favorite games that you want to be playing? If you are a PlayStation fan, I think PlayStation VR 2 will deliver some fantastic experiences for you, as it has for me. And arguably on the run up to Christmas, Metro was fantastic on PSVR 2. We've got Alien Rogue Incursion coming this side of Christmas, only to PSVR 2 and Steam. And Behemoth arguably will probably be a better experience on PSVR 2 as well. And I think that's one of the main benefits of PSVR 2. If you can afford to invest in a PS5 and a PSVR 2, games like No Man's Sky are like better than PCVR, to be honest. You'd have to spend thousands of pounds to get some of the amazing VR experiences that PSVR 2 offers. But again, that still leads into which headset do I spend most of my time in, and I would say it's a good 70 to 80% towards MetaQuest. There's just so many more games, there's so many more titles, and I think developers are worried about launching games exclusively on PSVR 2 at the moment, and I don't mean this by AAAs. The AAAs can afford to port to all platforms, but when it comes to developers who have got less of a budget, they're going to go for the headset that has the biggest audience, and that is easily MetaQuest. and the newer games are going to be kind of exclusively only on MetaQuest 3 because of the new chip. So I guess to summarize, I think if you're brand new to VR, I think MetaQuest 3 is the best headset for you. You will get access to PCVR if you have a PC, you get mixed reality, and you get a massive library of games. And arguably, I think that's the headset that developers mainly want to make games for. But if you have a PS5, I would still consider getting a PSVR2 because you can also use that as a PC headset, but just don't expect a massive games to get into as you would on Quest. So I hope this short video has helped you make a decision. Obviously, I want you guys to get involved. Let other people know what headsets you own and what you think is the best for newcomers into VR in 2024. Thanks ever so much for watching. Thank you for any likes and anyone who subscribes for VR content, and I'll see you on the next one.